Hello, I'm Josh.
I'm Josh.
I'm Josh.
I'm Josh.
And I'm not Josh, but together we are
Joshing around. Yeah.
I think we're pretty well.
I think we nailed that.
It was perfect. It was perfect in every way. Brilliant. Well, James, Aaron, it's lovely to have you guys. I think this has been a long time in the running, and it is good to finally get you on the podcast. This will be James. I think you should say, James or Aaron, I think you should also do a separate intro for your podcast, but it will just be both of the intros of both podcasts because we're definitely not going to edit this out.
Absolutely not.
Right.
James, do you want to introduce?
Okay, sure. Yeah.
Yes.
Hello and welcome to Just Roll Ones. You may have heard at the beginning that we're not alone. Aaron and I are joined by. Introduce yourself, guys.
Hi, my name's Rob.
And I'm
You
not
don't play
James.
Nords.
Oh dear. Yeah. Anyway,
Brilliant.
Just Roll Ones, joshing around in there. The collab has finally happened. Well,
Yeah.
guys, I had a lovely time at LGT. It was nice, all of us being in the same place at once. And yeah, I thought the tournament went really well. I think we'll have a lot to talk about. But firstly, the most important question is, what are you guys drinking? Now, me, Sam, and not Josh. Sorry, me, not Josh, and Josh. There we go. We are trying some mead. It's not just any mead. This is mead that was given to us very kindly by our dearest Aaron from Just Roll Ones. And I believe Josh and Aaron have started a bromance over mead. And Josh is going to give us some audio. Hey, lovely. Freshly cracked open.
This.
Yeah. We're getting to see
what
the behind the scenes of a joshing around as well.
Yeah, we get to see what's
I
actually
just saw a
happening.
really intense stare from Josh as he's opening it near the microphone.
Josh has just seen what it's got on the nose and has kept himself on mute for the experience, just in case. He's watching his every move.
It's okay. Though this one that you're having is my. It's just like a standard mead, and we'll see. Though it's. I would say it's the least good of the two that I gave you, but the other one you should save for your Christmas. It's a Christmas mead.
Nice.
Great, we'll have to do a Christmas special.
That'll be good.
Aaron, thank you very much.
No, you're welcome. I hope it's nice. I haven't tried this one yet.
Oh,
To rolling sixes.
to rolling sixes.
Rolling sixes.
That's good. I'm going to have to save the other one to try with my brother.
Good.
He got
No
married
one's pulled
last
a face.
weekend, so we have not been able to brew any mood of our own recently, but we need to catch up because you're starting to put us to shame.
Well, as this is now a mead podcast, I will give you all a sneak preview of the mead I'm currently making, which I will make sure you get a bottle of for another episode. James, I'll make sure you get one too. By the way, James, I'm really sorry. I've genuinely got a bottle of mead I meant to give you in my boot of my car. I'm pretty sure it's still there.
I was kind of thinking, why are they getting a bottle of mead and I'm not?
But no, the one I'm currently brewing is a mango and chili mead. So I think summertime, that might be a nice one to try. So mango and chili as well. I'm going with this one.
Do you like spicy mead?
That sounds
I've never
amazing.
tried it.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in that part of my life now, James, where I'm just putting things in a bucket with honey and seeing what happens.
I'll see for next, maybe UKGE or next LGT, if I can get a bottle of what's called Dragon's Breath. It's a mead that's made over in the Netherlands, and they sell it at a couple of festivals, and it literally burns the back of your throat. It feels like dragon's breath, but it is lovely. Yeah.
Sorry, other Josh, I just want to say, are you going to fulfill your promise this UKGE this time, or are you gonna once again disappoint all of our wonderful?
I was so disappointed.
Who came to UKGE expecting. If the listeners can see the face that Josh is making right now.
Just worse is I actually spent that week bottling 3 batches of mead ready for UKG.
Bless you.
And then forgot it. It felt like the Conquest equivalent of forgetting your command cards.
Did you happen to try any of the mead at the UK Games Expo? Because there were a few stalls selling mead.
No.
I didn't. If I'm being honest, I was working so hard just to make it there. I was really ill the next day.
That might be foreshadowing
bless
for this episode. But
I was going to say, Aaron, that sounds like a conversation we were having about you in the car on the way to LGT this time. So.
You won't. Well, I'll be honest. No one missed anything. The mead at UK Games Expo was kind of crap. Can I say crap on your podcast? I've said it twice now.
I mean, I guess you can now.
But no, like
fine.
I ended up going. I'm sorry. I know this is not the UK Games Expo podcast, but I ended up going to the stall, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll try one of your things of mead." And he was really trying to sell me this mead, and it was really not good. And I was like, "Yeah, mate, I might come back later. I don't know what to tell you, but you didn't miss anything. Our mead is nicer, I think."
Brilliant.
So for us.
Aaron and James, what are you guys drinking right now?
I've got actually a bottle of butterbeer.
Oh,
I can hold over camera, yeah.
Lovely.
So I ended up having a
Lovely.
bit of a Harry Potter escapade over the weekend at a Roman event and stuff in London, and bought a couple of that. So I'm opening it up. It's not alcoholic or anything, and it is bloody sweet.
nice.
Yeah.
I've got the other bottle I've given to Josh. I've got a cranberry and cherry Christmas mead.
Ooh.
That I'm trying, but I have quite a few bottles of it, so
Incredible.
it's very nice. Really good. Once I bottle more, I'll be able to put more to. In fact, that'll be my aim for you. With UK Games Expo, to shame Josh, I'll bottle some more mead and bring it with me.
There is nothing quite as motivating as wanting to outdo the other podcast, is there? So
Absolutely.
No.
There you go. Well, Aaron, this mead is actually very nice, so thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm
enjoying
glad
it very
because
much.
I haven't tried that one yet, so I'm glad to hear it.
I look
It's
forward.
sweet.
I look
It's
forward to
alcoholic.
trying it sometime.
I'll save you a bottle for sure.
Yeah. It's quite floral as well. I'm enjoying that.
I would describe it as freshly cut grass.
I can't wait
French-
to try your other one, see how well you've balanced the 2 flavours, because the problem I have is that every time I try and do 2 flavours, it ends up just tasting like one flavour. Like we tried to do one last year, which was blackberry and sage, and I would have been happy if it went more blackberry, but it went more sage, and now we're just trying to well, like, how many years does it take for the sage flavour to kind of reduce a little bit?
Just pour some blackberry juice in. You'll be fine.
If I crack that one, I'll bring one next time I see you.
That'd be great. I'd definitely try it.
Okay, you guys ready for a listener question?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
go for it.
Right, so we've had some. We've actually, guys, you've done us proud because we've got some questions coming in, which is great. We've actually got another email from Andrea De Marci, which we'll have to preview in another episode, which is honestly very exciting.
I think he needs to be named in. He's got like a ranking. We've got people who are like number X fan of the podcast, don't we? And somebody who's sent in 2 listener questions, that there's an automatic placement somewhere, surely.
Yeah,
He has no idea.
I think we need to assign him. Should he be number 1? I actually think he should be number 1. I don't think we have a number 1 yet.
No one wants that spot. It's like someone else is ahead of me. It's all right.
It's too much pressure.
Aaron's name's already in the podcast description. Do you think we could put Andrea De Marci in there as well?
Absolutely. Oh dear, absolutely right. Well, we do have a lovely email from our friend Toby, who, if you guys remember from, I'm just going to read the email out, and then you guys will hopefully get the context from there. So it says, "Hi there, joshing in sorry, I can't read. Hi there, joshing around in air crew. Recently, I received a message in a Conquest-themed group chat from some guys who recently attended my wedding. They were inviting me to start playing with them, and like any adult these days, I headed straight to ChatGTP to see what I should do. So, what I want to challenge you is to pick an army for me to start playing Conquest that is different to one of the 4 armies suggested to me by our AI overlords in the great server bank in the sky." Love that. In brackets, but I've copied in the advice that it gave me at the end of this email, but no peeking before you've answered yourselves. I trust that these 3 renowned experts can do a better job than the internet. Well, I mean, you don't just have 3 experts today, Toby. You have 5. So hopefully we will not put you to shame. And I think I'm glad that I'm not the only one talking here. So yeah, what do you... he also put... he put blessings, Toby, which is very nice. And then he also put PS, do you ever talk about FIFA? Or is it just the obscure EA sports you focus on? Love it. Love it.
I hate FIFA. I think it's one of the worst video games. Football is a terrible sport. And if you want to play football, go outside and play football. That's the official joshing around in a stance on FIFA.
So Aaron says, go touch some grass.
I mean, that's what football is. Not AstroTurf, that's lame. Play on real grass.
There you go.
I feel like you had a friend who played a lot of FIFA and you've just had a really horrible experience with them. That's what that sounds like.
I've never really got into play. I don't really like football. It's not my thing, but I've always just found FIFA really boring. And
No
every
kidding.
year... No, every year, they're like, oh, this new FIFA game's out. It's exactly the same. You're giving them £70 for the same game. It's ridiculous. Play a good game, like Age of Empires or Elden Ring. Good games.
Yeah, why are people cheering for Jeff Hurst and David Beckham on that pitch anyway?
I don't know who Jeff Hurst is. I know who David Beckham is, right? That one I've got.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've already got too many hobbies and I don't need to add knowing footballer names to that list.
So I chose old footballers' names to reference Age of Empires as the high point of the game.
That
Back
Venn
in my
diagram
day.
is probably quite small. The sliver in between Age of Empires enjoyers and old football enjoyers is literally just Sam.
Yeah, fair. That's all right. I don't mind it. I'll own it.
I love it.
I reckon that if ChatGPT was invited to name, so he said that he had named 4 armies that it suggests for a starter.
Yes. So Toby typed into ChatGPT, what are the armies I should start playing as a beginner to Conquest, and so it gave him 4 armies from Conquest to play, and so we have to try and suggest one that is not one of those 4. That's the game.
Weaver Courts.
Yeah, I was going to say these one.
Yeah.
Playing that, yeah.
No, but that actually is a beginner army.
Yeah, I was saying Weaver Courts would be pretty terrible as a new player.
I don't know how to play Weaver Courts. and I've been playing this for years.
Why are they just talking about seed?
Yeah, exactly. It sounds a bit rude.
Nords.
No, he's not called Rob.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Dragon then. I reckon that Wadroon will be in there, and I reckon Spires and 100 Kingdoms will be, and City States. There you go. That's what my money's on. So any of the others. Old Dominion.
You're just naming all the factions.
Sorry, this is the test. Name as many factions as possible.
We've certainly named all of them. I'd also say Dregum or Old Dominion are good starter armies.
Yeah.
Not if you want to make friends, but if you want to learn to play the game.
Yeah. Well, I would say Dwegum because you can now wizard 12. Well, actually, you can wizard 24 if it's the Warlords.
Okay.
So you don't need to think, you just magic.
I mean, of course, by the time he gets up to 2,000 points, there'll have been a balance which stops that being a thing, and so he'll have to come up with a different way to play it. But yeah, for now, that's true.
Yeah.
They might end up doing what they've done the last few times. They've done a balance update there, and actually just somehow make them better than they were. So that's the best time to buy Dragon, because in 3 months' time you're going to be even better.
Yeah, just buy a whole bunch of Hold Thanes. You'll have a great time.
I did see someone selling some Dragon recently, and
and now you've got.
I was fine. Josh wants to grow his collection.
No, I resisted. But yeah, I did think, oh man, with that new balance update, some Dragon.
Yeah.
Well done. Josh, this isn't a podcast meeting. This is an intervention.
I thought this was a sales pitch to him.
Roll up, sell your conquest to Josh. Josh, what do you think?
Well, I think the 4 it would have suggested would be the first 4 factions, just because I think they've been around the longest, and that would be what there'd be the most talk about online, and so that would be what AI would scrape off the top. So my guess would be to recommend not one of the 4, to recommend a new faction. I want to say just some huge blocks of Uroni and 4 spiders. I don't know. But maybe, do you know what I actually think it's an easy list to play? Just lots of giants. Just go. So I'm going to suggest city-states, get a whole load of giants, run like 3 Taloses. You can make mistakes. They're not going to accidentally die if someone attacks them.
D4 hardened too. I mean, just do what you want.
Yeah.
Did you see there was a list in a tournament recently that was Nord's 7 giants? I saw something on something somewhere.
I ran 7 giants.
Yeah, well, I don't think it was you. I think it's somebody else that's picked up on the idea in the States.
Oh, okay. I mean, I don't. When I ran it, what was it? I ran it at one of the Bad Moon tournaments in London. It felt so strong, and that was before they made mountains medium. I mean, yeah. So, but then at UKG it did not perform. So I don't know whether that was me just off, or I really struggled against other Nords lists. But yeah, I think now I'm just going to do it with city-states. I mean, I've got 2 Talos, 2 Hephaestians, a Promethean, and I only have 2 Saders. Actually, I could do 7.
Stop!
Sad 100k noises with only 1 monster.
Oh dear. Great. So we've got Sam. What do you use? You said city states.
Well, it hasn't been mentioned yet, so I'm changing my answer. Sorcerer Kings.
Okay, Sorcerer Kings as a beginner army. Okay. Josh, you said Nords, just run giants.
Yeah. Or city-states, just run giants, but just...
Okay. And then James?
I'd say Uroni.
Uroni?
Yeah, I actually think they're a really good beginner army. The command cards, all that, you don't need many models, they're tough as hell. Yeah.
Just start with whatever you want.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Aaron?
I'd probably go for either Dwegum or Old Dominion. Would be my choice.
Right, I did say Dwegum, just for the record. Right, I'm going to bring up the email. So I'm scrolling to the bottom. So the first one it gave Toby was 100 Kingdoms, which is probably the best, probably the safest bet. Balanced, forgiving, a good set of core units that aren't overly fragile or too fiddly. Good for learning the basics of army building and battle flow. By fiddly, does it mean literally fiddly? Because I've made a lot of household guard, and they are both fiddly to make and move around the table.
Yeah. Arm of Dominion Gilded Legion, though, is pretty solid. That's good.
Just, who cares? Yeah, exactly. D4, lovely. Dweg was the second one, Dwegum. If you like tougher units, making mistakes and still playing in the game, and want something that can absorb damage, this is a solid second choice. So, yeah, if we said Dwegum, we were wrong. 3, Josh, unfortunately, is Nords. So if you prefer aggressive play and are excited by monsters / fast melee, this is great, but be ready for risk. You'll learn quickly, but maybe lose more at first while you get used to positioning and timing, which I actually think is pretty true for Nords. So
that's good. Yeah.
Well done, ChatGTP. 4 was city-states. So if you prefer ranged or magic and finesse rather than brute force, could be very fun if that's your style and you're more patient with learning rules. Don't know if it's ranged and magic. Is that really what city-states are known for?
It's just chariots.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, with the chariots, I guess. But the magic, there's a mechanist, but...
Yeah.
The giants cast spells, but that's about it, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, there you go. Yeah, so there we go. So, Toby, Euroni is the one to play. So there you go.
Nice.
Great. Don't all speak at once.
Brilliant. Well, you starting with Euroni really does segue nicely into the main topic of London GT.
Oh, hey, there
it
we
does.
go. Nice segue. Right, so we all went to LGT, which was, 2 weeks ago? Something like that?
Yeah.
End of September, had a great time, played 5 games of Conquest, well, most of us did. And then, it was really good. So I think the first thing I wanted to touch on was the faction spread. I feel like there was a lot of 100 Kingdoms, which I was not expecting at all. There was how many players were there? Hang on, I've got the things here. I'm just going to read it out. 30, okay. So there were 4 Euroni, there were 100k players. So 4 Euroni, 6 100k, 3 Wadroon, 3 Spires, 3 city-states, 3 Nords, 2 Dweg, 4 Old Dominion, and 1 Sorcerer Kings. I wonder who that could be. Which is fascinating, because that's not what has been the expectation worldwide at all. So I think, even though there are a lot of 100 Kingdoms, I'd say that's a fairly decent spread of factions, really. But yeah, I don't know what you guys think.
I was genuinely surprised there was only 1 Sorcerer Kings.
Yeah.
I wasn't too surprised to see that many 100k, because the rework has been really good. And that's really jumped up their popularity, but I was really surprised just to see 1 Sorcerer Kings, and actually I was expecting more Euroni as well.
Yeah, what kind of caught me by surprise actually was the presence of Old Dominion, which has sort of faded into the background in my personal experience of Conquest, which meant that when I came up against them, the first time that I hit them, I reminded him to roll his resolve checks, and he reminded me that he didn't need to. So that was slightly annoying.
Yeah, Old Dominion was a tough cookie to beat. Yeah.
I think Old Dominion was one of the few ones I was kind of hoping to face. I don't know. I just thought the Theocrator, it just looked like something that was you needed volume of hits, defense 3. I thought, man, I've got the guys who could throw 30 hits and then 20 volleys into it, but I didn't get the chance.
Yeah, that is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I played it twice, and the first time I went into it being really confident, I guess like Sam was saying, thinking, Old Dominion, pretty easy. But I did play like an idiot, and my opponent played really well. And that massive slug is really hard to kill. It took a lot of killing.
Out of interest, did he hurt himself, or did he just use it as like a giant wounds pool?
A few times. I think 2 or 3 times he used it for some effect. I don't really know what it does. He was telling me it was doing things, and I was like, yeah, sure. I have no idea what that model is doing. But yeah, it kind of railroaded itself right into the centre of my army, and I was like, oh, okay, brilliant. I've just got this massive thing there. That I think that gives dread. or maybe the unit had dread. Something had dread.
I think he'd given it as an upgrade to the character.
Makes sense. Yeah. So yeah, that was a tough game as well.
Yeah, I was only there for 3 games. Old Dominion was one of them. The other 2 were 100 Kingdoms and City States, and the City States list, which I think Josh also played against, a guy called Ben. Lovely, friendly guy. His army is not very friendly, and I got absolutely hammered. But 100 Kingdom and Old Dominion, I did manage to get victories from, and both of them were within 6 points. Really, really. I mean, both of those games, it was like, the supremacy roll in the final turn won the entire game for me, sort of thing. It was not a confident victory at all. However, as a Spires player, leaving a tournament with a winning record, I felt so good. Yeah, I'm going with that.
Yeah,
you meta-chasing elite player.
Yeah, look at this
I know
guy.
the Spires rework is going to be coming out, and it is going to absolutely ruin the current win rate that I have on the tabletop battles.
You're gonna start winning. You might win LGT next year.
That's the prediction, isn't it?
Yeah, you could do really well.
Sam. We believe in you. Right. I think we should go around and chat about our games just real briefly. Just any sort of points, highlights you want to bring up. I think let's do it day by day. So obviously day 1 we had 3 games, and then day 2 we had 2 games. If someone could be so kind as to get up the tournament pack, or if you just know off by heart what each scenario was, that would be really helpful. I'm happy to get started, and as you can tell, I'm slowing my speech so to allow James to bring up the scenario packet.
It's on the Tabletop Battles app that tells us what it was.
Yes, it is, but unfortunately, I'm currently using my phone, which has Tabletop Battles map as a microphone.
So I got it.
Round 1, I believe, was Breakout.
Round 1 was Breakout. Great.
Yeah.
So I was playing Breakout with against a lovely guy called Dave or David. I put Dave. I think it was Dave, but so he was playing City States. Just to clarify, I was playing 100 Kingdoms. I will always play 100 Kingdoms at tournaments because they're great. But yeah, so I was playing. I think I've mentioned it on the podcast before, but just briefly, it was Theist and Feudal. So lots of re-rolling 6s, lots of indomitable bubbles, a blessed turn, lots of kind of buffs and stuff like that. So that was great fun. What I remember from the game. So sorry, it was. Did you say Breakout?
Yeah.
3 zones.
3 zones, and there were like 2 objective markers in between, like on either side of the middle.
Yes.
Middle zone.
Yeah. So what I remember from that game is he had 2 blocks of Thorikites, and he just chucked them up in my face, and I had to deal with them and lost some stuff. And then it was like, oh, he still has the rest of his army. Cool. And so he had a bunch of Inquisitors, which did some really great work for him. I think maybe I'll just stretch my lines a little bit. I was maybe rushing a little bit to get up to the objectives, because normally I'd slow it right down and wait it out. But I think I was a bit keen not to get behind on points, because I think this is a bit of a low scoring one. So you kind of really want to be able to get out ahead rather than try to play catch up, because there's not like extras for scoring more zones. I don't think there is. Maybe there is, but it's not like loads. So yeah, it was a good game. Dave was wonderful. Played really well. It was 1947 to him. So well done, Dave. Second was a mirror match, 100 Kingdoms versus 100 Kingdoms. So I think that was Forlorn Hope, I believe, the one with 4 zones. In the middle. Yeah, great. So he had basically an all cavalry list, so it's orders feudal. So loads of flurry on the command stands. He had a hardened +1 and attacks +1 turn. Thankfully only had 1 Ashen Dawn. Turns out it's horrible to be on the other side of an Ashen Dawn. So I realised how horrific this is for everyone else. No, I was getting really far ahead on points. Felt like I was doing quite well. I'd positioned myself quite well. I'd managed to get the mounted squires into the side of one of his household night blocks before he was even able to use it, and it killed it. Opportunists, and I was like, sweet. Feels like I'm doing pretty well. But then he's just like got Crimson Tower coming. So he didn't have any Sealed Temple. It was all heavies. So it was Crimson Tower, Household Knights, and Ashen Dawn. They just came screaming down the table, and eventually just wiped me out. And I think I just couldn't hold quiet long enough to be able to beat him out. So that one was a lot closer, actually. It ended 40-49 in his favour. But no, it was a great game. Really like Chris. I think he's from with the Cornwall lot. Lovely to see another 100 Kingdoms army playing very nicely as well. So really enjoyed that. And then my third game of the tournament, which was also my only win, was against Dan, who was also playing City States. He was one of the three who were dressed up for the tournament, which I thought was brilliant. So I think Jamie was wearing a dinosaur outfit, which was incredible. Henry was dressed up as basically a Roman, but with a skeleton costume underneath because he was playing Old Dominion. And then Dan had like a toga. It was like full on I don't know, looking like a Greek person, I guess, from ancient times. I'm sure James is thinking, what on earth is this guy talking about? But that was really good fun. I enjoyed that. That was a nice close game. What was the scenario for round 3?
Maelstrom.
Maelstrom.
Yeah.
Okay. That's got 2 zones.
3. It's for
3.
It's for ones where you turns 1 to 4. You score 2 points for the middle one, and then 5 to 8 it switches to the outer one, and then 9 and 10 goes back to the centre one again. Great.
Yeah, no, another great game. I had good fun. Dan was a really nice chap. I think, I really enjoyed playing with him. I think, it was 12-11 in my favour, so I think it was a really, really close game. I think we were both holding one side and then basically fighting out for the middle. It was a nice, close game. I thought he played a good list, and it was good fun to play. So that was my day 1. So why don't Sam, you talk about your day 1, and then we'll go on to someone else.
Sure. Yeah. My day 1, well, I mean, it was good overall, but I was happy to be there. It's a good, nice environment. I was very happy that I was downstairs getting a drink or something when these 3 loons entered, all dressed up, all silly. And I thought, well, at least they're going to win a competition for best dressed or something, and then recognised Jamie and Henry among the 3 and thought, oh, great, they're the Conquest. So that was brilliant to see them. My first one was against Chris, the All Cavalry 100 Kingdoms list. Great to meet another guy from Cornwall. He'd obviously played against Spires a lot because Matt Beer's previous army was really, really similar to mine. He had almost card for card, like the same style of play that I had. So he knew exactly what he was doing. And I just absolutely went for it on silly charges and things, and ended up sending my Strix right over those objective markers. So I had a really high line and was able to score early. And I ended up charging my massive block of force-grown drones into his Ashen Dawn, 2 inches off the back of the table, which just held him up just for long enough. And I was just a little bit lucky with some rolls, basically. So I didn't deserve to win that one, but I did. Then I came up against this guy, Ben, who was running City States. Really nice guy, very patient with me because I turned up 10 minutes late for it, and he just wiped the floor with me. There was nothing at all that I could do. The score was 69-22. I felt lucky to get 22 points. So least said about that, the better. My third game was against a guy called Martin, and he was there playing Old Dominion, and it wasn't his army. He had sold all of his Conquest stuff, but had committed to come to LGT anyway, and so had borrowed the army off his brother. So when he explained this to me, I thought, jolly good, this one's in the bag. And it was not in the bag, but I did end up doing some quite janky manoeuvres with my force-run drone block, which I think ended up 8 stands wide, but had ended up charging from one thing into the next thing, and so was facing me by the end of the game. And just about held it off. The final score was 14-12, but in the final round, he won the supremacy role, and he was he had got a set of Praetorians that were in melee combat with my Leonine Avatar. So there's only going to be one winner out of those. And he rolled the dice, and man, does he know how to roll 6s. And then it was my turn, and I turned around and rolled a whole bunch of 1s and just killed him. And so I did not deserve at all to win it, but yeah, took away a 2-point victory. So super narrow and a lot of fun.
You've obviously been listening to a good podcast to help you roll those ones, I think.
I like to feel like I do my revision. Yes.
Great. Aaron, why don't you tell us about your day one?
Yeah, absolutely. I was playing Uroni. I made a swap quite late. I thought they were quite fun to play. But I guess leading into it, I'd messaged. I can't remember who it was. I can't remember who I messaged. One of the Joshes on the way down. If you'd care to, if you would like to communicate what I texted to you on the way down, I'll let you.
Yeah, let me just find it real quick.
So yeah, I'll go through my first game while Josh finds the text that I sent them when I was on my way down to London. But my first game with Uroni was against a nice gentleman called Sean, who was playing 100 Kingdoms. I kind of did what Uroni do, and I got on the zones really early on, and just kind of scored out. I killed. I can't remember exactly what he was playing with 100 Kingdoms. I know he had some feudal. I think it was feudal orders, but yeah, I just kind of got on the zones early and stayed on the zones from turn 2 till turn 10. And so I won that first one 59-14, which is a very nice game. My second round was against Mr. Pasty, otherwise known as Kieran. And I tried to do the same again. So this was, I guess, what we mentioned before. Going into it, I was like, Old Dominion, they're a little bit rubbish at the moment. I should be fine. Not a problem at all. Easy. And as I'm sure we've said in podcasts before, how do you beat Old Dominion? Especially if you have shooting. Well, you stay a bit further back and you shoot them. And I did not do that at all. So I really overcommitted my Origami Warriors. My carry bot survived right till the end, but I just basically ended up overcommitting. I gave him 3 charge double clashes on his Ziliarch turn. He just kind of stopped me. I still wasn't up on how good the Spider actually was in combat. Like, if you haven't played against them, the Spiders in Uroni are obnoxious. They're so good. And they are now cheaper. Like, a 4-spider list is now good. But I'm not playing that, don't worry. But so I started off really strong with the scoring, same as the last game. And then, I just gave him too many units, and he really capitalised on that. So, he just kind of killed me, and that game finished 55-34 to Kieran. So I lost round 2. And then going into round 3, I was playing against another 100 Kingdoms player. And his guy was called Alex. And we had a really nice game there. He was playing some Household Guard, I think, and some Gilded Legion. And I just kind of did, again, what you only do. I got on the zones really early. And so I was scoring from turn 2 straight through to turn 10 every turn. So that game finished 29-6. So yeah, that was another really nice game with a really nice opponent, Alex. So yeah, I don't know if Josh, did you find the message that I had sent to you on my way down?
I did.
Okay.
So I messaged you saying, I hope you're ready to get humbled this weekend, which is hilarious because I came away with a 1-4 record. But we did not play, so it doesn't count.
It doesn't, no.
Secondly, you replied saying, mate, my aim is to not shit myself.
So I was feeling really ill. I genuinely was at a point where I was considering not coming down, but I had Yanis had sent me all of the prize support to bring. So I was like, I have to go to London anyway. I can't have this hundreds, thousands of pounds of prize support in my garage and not take it. So I went down. Yeah, I felt so ill on the Saturday. I hadn't eaten anything from the Wednesday before to the Saturday night, apart from Lucozades and tangerines. And then I will get to the biggest travesty of the weekend tomorrow morning, on Sunday. Biggest travesty of the event. But I did succeed.
Was that a travesty for your trousers? Or
No. I succeeded in not pooing myself. So that was positive. I was sick on the Saturday night, unfortunately, but yeah.
I mean, that itself deserves a round of applause. So
yeah. Thank you. I didn't wear my otter pants just in case. I thought I didn't want to ruin it.
Oh, yeah. Can't risk.
Yeah, so that was my 3 rounds. 3 really nice games, really nice opponents. So I finished a 1, 2, and 1.
Well done. Right. Josh and then James.
Yeah, I had my first game, like you, against Dave. Lovely Dave from Southampton. And yeah, it was great. We walked in together and we were joking that our first game might be together, and then it was, which was always fun. And for anyone who hasn't played Dave, he runs a giant block of force-grown drones, so you either have to kill it or ignore it. Being Sorcerer Kings, I thought I'd try and burn them to the ground. And yeah, I mean, if I can summarise the games in 2 turns, I think it was turn 3, I clashed his big block of force-grown drones with 4 sword dancers and a Raj. So it was, 9 odd impacts and then about 35 odd hits at Cleave 1 Deadly Blades. So I think I took off 9 stands, maybe 10.
Nerf them now.
And then I got in a pretty rubbish shot from some flame casters, took off a couple more, and then next turn, I think he'd chosen for whatever reason to activate something else first, and then I just hit them again and finished them off, broken, shattered. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie, wiping out that huge block turn 4, that kind of gave me the game, and I managed to table him turn 5, which was pretty one-sided, but it was a lot of laughs, and he was very gracious in it all. And also, he had my favourite painted model of the whole tournament, which was the new what's it called, Sam? The new Spires model.
Terraform Surveyor.
That's the one. And he had that, and he'd got 2
Desolation drones. Yeah.
One in each arm, and one of them was Supermaning towards the enemy, and one of them was kind of hiding in shame. And I mean, yeah, just the lore he's put into his army, every time. I mean, yeah, it's just fantastic. So yeah, that was a lovely game 1. Game 2, I was against Brandon, so we knew it was going to be a real sweaty game. And I think it was both of us spending quite a lot of time, really thinking through our decisions.
There was a pool of sweat beneath your table. It was horrific.
Yeah, I was having to stay hydrated this year. I brought a laughably large, 1.7 litre water bottle, and I finished it every game. I had to stop because I kept needing to go for a wee at the end of every game. But only one, because I was sweating most of it out. But yeah, so that was a very close game. I think we ran out of time turn I think it was turn 5, and it was I think it was like 9:26 maybe. It was about, I think he was about 15 or 17 ahead, something in that realm. But in terms of on the board, he had one big block left and a spider, and like 2 of the shooty guys who were face to face with a Mahout. So I was kind of likely that I was going to finish off the spider in 1 or 2 turns, and the Mahout was definitely going to finish off the other guys. So I was going to have probably about 3 or 4 regiments left to his 1. So I don't know. It would have been close. It really depended on how many turns it would take me to finish off the spider, but it would have been close. But probably would have maybe just clinched the win if we got to turn 10. But we only got to 5, and when it's not obvious, so that was a close one. But I came away honoured to have lost a close game to, spoilers, the guy who won, and the guy who gone to Chios. So pretty happy with that. And then my third game was against Howl, who, bless him, he's one of the groups we play with regularly. He had expressly told me that week he did not want to play me. He really didn't want it to happen.
Wow.
Did you hear that a lot leading up to this event?
I mean, a lot of people gave me a bit of stick for playing Sorcerer Kings.
I mean, we were all thinking it.
I didn't know what you were playing. I just didn't want to play you.
But yeah, bless him. When he saw he got paired with me, his face, I literally saw it fall. He had to go to Janice. He was Norton too, so I'd got paired down and he'd got paired up, and he just couldn't understand how he had lost 2 games and then was facing one of the sweatiest lists at the tournament. So bless him. We played, and it was definitely closer than my game against Dave, but it was Maelstrom, and I kind of managed to win the middle and the left objective, and he kind of won the right. But it's just when you got 2-1 on that one, and it's only from objectives, it was a relatively comfortable victory regardless of how the battles went. But yes, that was my 3 games. Day 1, finishing 2-1.
Great job. Bless you. Yeah. I think we'll all shed a tear for Hal, because that was right.
with Hal, when he sent his listing via email, he had a reply from Yanis going, "Why are you playing that? That's so bad." Ripping. He was the only guy that Yanis did not hold back on. That is terrible.
But the thing is, knowing the quality of Howell's paint jobs, I expect and hope that the answer is because that is a beautifully fully painted army, and that's the same reason that I brought my list. I think it's the same reason that you brought your list. That's I think that's perfectly justified as a reason to bring it. So good on you, Howell. I've never played you, and I wish that I can one day.
He's a joy to play.
I haven't played him either, actually, ever.
There you go. He's a great guy to play, and yes, I very much appreciate his paint jobs. So how, well done. We love you.
Yeah.
Talking of paint jobs, is this an appropriate time to mention the victory that we did get as a collective?
Whatever do you mean?
But despite clearly some of the 5 of us deserving to be in the top 3, none of us were. However, there is a picture shared by Parabellum this week of Josh proudly holding the victor's medal for the best painted monster at LGT.
Yeah.
And well deserved. So
yes.
Good on you.
Hooray!
Yeah, thank you guys.
And what time were you up painting that model? The night before LGT, Josh?
I don't want to talk about it. It was 2:30 a.m. I was painting, trying to paint true metallic, but somewhat NMM style on the spear on the Archangel, and I was just absolutely hating my life. But I was like, honestly, I was just like, if this doesn't flipping win anything, I am going to be so annoyed. But you know what? Actually, I was very. There was some tough competition there as well, like some really nicely painted stuff. So I was very, very pleased. Yeah.
Yeah, like in fairness, when we were looking at your army, it was actually a good contender for like best painted army. It's just there was just one or two units that weren't complete.
Yeah.
But like if you take that for next year, I reckon you're in for a strong chance.
I appreciate it, James. I did I did nudge Yanis, and it's like, look, if I just get rid of my militia, do you think you can just like pretend it's not there? Right, James, why don't you tell us about your day one?
Sure. Well, winning it last year, went in with a little bit of pressure to try and do as well as last year. First game was against Kyle and his Dwegum. Kyle is relatively new to the game. He bought his army off someone else, so it's kind of already fully painted. All of that was good. Really good guy. It was quite a nice playing game because it was almost like a bit of a learning game for him as well. But it did end. I think it was about 68-4 in my favour. Yeah, it was a bit of a one-sided one.
You went easy on him then, did you, James? Flipping it.
I'm having flashbacks to my game one of last year at LGT. Who was it that I played against? Right, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what, mate? Actually, going back even further, that's my first ever game at LGT. I'm getting flashbacks to that as well. I lost 10-0 on turn 4 or something.
Each of the 3 games, my first question to the person was, have you played against Wadroon much? And when the answer was no, I said, okay, well, let me show you the sound of raptors. It was a really good game, really good guy. That then put me on to game 2. Actually, during game 1, Dave came over from Southampton. Dave, he came over kind of halfway through, and I said to him, "Are you okay?" He said, "Yeah, I'm done." I've already had lunch. He said, the game was over in half an hour. And then game 2, I was against Martin and his Old Dominion as well. Again, really fun guy, really good guy, really good sport. He had the blocks of the Varangian Guard, the 4 stands each kind of thing. It was a game where I'd managed to get up on the objectives pretty quickly, and kind of almost cornered him. He got unlucky with some of the dice rolling, with some of the reinforcement rolls, so it meant that I could kind of get on a bit early and kind of push him up. It was a fun game. The score may not necessarily represent that. It was 104-12.
Yikes.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I was just anything turn 2. I was just scoring a lot from turn 2 onwards.
Does Conquest not 404 when you hit 100 points?
It might as well have done. It's interesting. I got the most victory points in the tournament. Even though
I wonder why.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, that was good. And Old Dominion, I've always found as kind of not that bad with Wadroon, because you got the speed and you got good shooting and everything. Mm-hmm. That then took me into the 3rd game, which was against Kieran, Nasty Pasty, with his old Dominion again. And this is where I'd had great success against Old Dominion in game 2, and it kind of went opposite now in game 3. So he had the Theocrator, the big slug, and yeah, that took some taking down. It wasn't necessarily difficult to kill, but it took a lot of you had to devote a lot of stuff to it. So I basically had, I think, I charged it in the side with the Raptors and the Apex and something else and took it down, but it meant that it was just too much centered on it, too much focused on it, and then trying to deal with the rest of the stuff. I did get ahead in points early on. There was some unlucky dice rolling on my part with defense rolls and morale with resolve rolls as well. So when they were hitting tier 4, and it's something like for each 6 you roll on your resolve test, you take 2 wounds. That's when I decided to start rolling a bunch of 6s for my resolves.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah, it was a close game. I think the final score was something like 26-35, something like that to him. So yeah, it was a very fun game, very close game. I took my hat off to him because I said that's the first time that I've lost to Old Dominion with what I drew, and so I was like, well done, sir. So at the end of it, yeah, I went 2-1. Yeah,
brilliant. Was that Henry you played?
What, for the third game?
Third game, yeah.
No, Kieran. Sorry.
Oh, Kieran.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think he, yeah. The guy who was like pretty consistently on the top table actually throughout most of the weekend, I think. Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Well, sounds like we had a good day one. I think, yeah, it was like, Yanis said it at the end, right? But it just felt like the whole tournament there just were no problems. People were just having fun playing Conquest, and I think that was really, really good. James, correct me if I'm wrong, you were running the tournament with Yanis, right?
Yeah, I was co-hosting it. Yeah,
brilliant. You did a great job, mate.
Cheers,
really,
thank
really
you.
Well done.
It only goes, as to be honest, it only runs as well as the players. So it's like hats off to everyone who went, because they made it easy to run. There wasn't any like dickish behaviour or anything else, and nobody like left. Nobody took a break for like half an hour this time, so all worked out.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, you're welcome, because man, was I tempted to flip that table once or twice when dice rolls didn't go my way. Yeah.
Right, so we should probably chat about day 2. So Sam, do you want to start?
Mine is a short answer for this, because I wasn't there. Next.
Great. Moving on. Day 2 for me was, honestly, I lost both my games, and it was the best day of Conquest I've had in my life. It was great. It was flipping brilliant. So first game, I played the People's Champ, Chris. Our dear friend who, will take flights to go and play Conquest in different countries. I mean, this guy is very dedicated to it, and it's just brilliant because he's just a wonderful chap, and every time I play him I just have a great time. And so he I think the only thing that made that game bearable was the fact that Chris was so nice, because he had 2 8 blocks of Gilded Legion, and my goodness, that was horrific. So one had flipping Gilded Rampart, which meant I think it was Game at Oblivious or something like that, and they're already resolve 1,000,000, so it's like, who cares? And then he had the other one with Armor of Dominion, so if he activated with them, it was like D4, no cleave, armor piercing, whatever, it doesn't matter. So it was it was a brutal game. I think I'd already lost a bunch of games at that point, so I was just like, look, let's just have some fun. There was one point that I do remember, which was quite fun, was I walked my Archangel right past his Gilded Legion, because I thought, let me try and get into the side of some of his like Hunter cadre that were at the back. I was like, let's just run him up there. Who cares? Anyway, he wins Supremacy, and he goes, oh, by the way, this is going to be my Supremacy turn. Now, anyone who plays 100 Kingdoms and knows the Imperial rules is that the Supremacy ability is you get a free reform and opportunists. So what happened is my Archangel that had run up the side of the Gilded Legion, he then activated his Gilded Legion. They obviously turned round to face my Archangel, and then charge clashed with opportunists already hitting on 4s, and destroyed it. So yeah, that was good night, Mr. Archangel. But yeah, I think me and Chris, we had a good laugh, and we were just having a good time chatting. And I always love seeing other 100 Kingdoms players and how they paint their stuff and the way they play it. And I think, yeah, just a really enjoyable game with Chris. So that ended for him as a win, 21-56 to him. So really, really fun game. What was the scenario on that as well, by the way?
It was grind them down. So it was
so the 4 zones, then you jump on and off them, and you get extra. Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
Well, you're not. Yeah, it's you select a zone, and then that is worth more. Cool. And then my last game, which was flipping brilliant because it was against Southampton Dave, was it was great fun. He was playing his Spires, and he just had a really, really fun list. I think, like Josh was saying, that Terraphon with the 2 catabolic nodes. I mean, one is like Supermaning, and then one is literally his arms are like dragging underneath him, and you can just imagine him getting buffeted in the wind, just being like, I do not want to be here. So he was just carpet bombing my my infantry. Anyway, I don't remember much about the play-by-plays. All I remember is his little tiles that he would like write on, and like instead of writing broken or like a -1 resolve or something, he'd just write coward or like pussy. It was so funny, and I just thought, I had a great time. And it was actually pretty close in the end. It was 48-52 to him. But yeah, I think we had a really good time, and it was nice of thought, I'll give you his win of the tournament. So we ended up with the same score. But yeah, it was great fun, and I think we kept saying that 100 Kingdoms versus Spires. This is proper conquest. This is how it should be. And so we had a good time. Also, just a side note, if anyone was worried about the diversity in Conquest, I would like to say that the list of names I played against in this tournament is Dave, Chris, Dan, Chris, Dave. So yeah, there's no issues with diversity there. But yeah, moving on. Aaron, why don't you tell us about your day 2?
Well, I played against the notorious Mr. Trout. Who I think is that Henry? I think his name was Henry.
That's Henry. Yeah.
But I have written down Mr. Trout as my opponent, and I need to remember that because every time I go to an event he's at and they announce Mr. Trout, I'm like, I know that name, but I never remember that it's him. So there's another person who's like that. Who's I know their like Parabellum name because we've been to so many events together. Could not tell you who it was.
There's some absolute waste man called Invictus 1995. I don't know who it is.
No, that's I heard he played Sorcerer Kings.
What a sweat!
I know. Now leave me alone. Now I play them now that they've been nerfed. That's it. So we had a really, really close game, and it came down right to the very last turn. So again, Old Dominion I think are still pretty good, and I did the Old Dominion thing where I got on the zones really early, but I didn't quite overextend quite as much as I did in the second game. So it really just turned into like a massive grind in the middle of the table. At one point, I think he had like his big slug and his block of Praetorians and his block of cultists, and I had like my block of Kami in the center, and then my block of origami charged into the back of his Praetorians. And we just had like a massive mosh in the center of the table. And it was kind of this game I realised actually how good the Spiders are. Having an 18 wound monster that can heal itself for 4 or 5 a turn, that is evasion 3, is pretty incredible with Terrifying 1 and Fearless. Like, that's an incredible little monster. So, yeah, eventually I won out 40-37. And that really came down to like turn 8 and turn 10, where I just managed to score a little bit more on the objective zones. But yeah, it was a super close game. That was really enjoyable. And then keeping it within the friendship group, I then went and played. I've got him down in my tournament app here as the general. So I played against Jamie with his Wadroon. Disappointingly, wasn't dressed as a dinosaur.
Oh, Jamie.
I know, it was bad. But really, well, I think it could have been a really close game. And I think I'm going to complain about dice really, really quickly. And I hope Jamie won't mind. I think he would probably agree on this. So I had my Origami Warriors up pretty far. Jamie was playing a fantastic Wadroon list, which was like 4 units of Warbread and then loads of Quattles. I love Warbread. So but in my head, I was thinking, okay, this is pretty straightforward. I've got this. I had my Origami Warriors really far up the board, and he'd kind of brought his Warbread on to the back, and they were all kind of in a line together. And I was like, all I have to do is engage one of those units and everything is stuck, for turns. And I did some quick maths in my head. I was like, I've got 5 stands of Origami Warriors. They're going to be defense 4. I can heal them. These guys are going in. They're like evasion 3 or whatever. This is sweet. I've got this. And so I kind of put I put them in hindering terrain. Forgot, is it war or something? Something makes them ignore hindering terrain. That was a surprise to me. But so I put my Origami Warriors. Basically, I charged into his unit that had his Scion of War and his Warbread in. And I thought, got this. They're going to be stuck there for a few turns. The Origami Warriors probably lose, but they're 6 wounds. Warbread are only defense 2. So every wound they're doing to me, they're going to be taking back on lethal demise. Anyway, so Jamie then activates this unit of 3 Warbread. Ignore the Scion completely. It's irrelevant for this story. His 3 units of Warbread, who I think between them have 16 attacks maybe, end up hitting me 22 times. I'm then on evasion, I think 2 or 3. I can't remember now. I then fail 18 or 19 of these rolls. And he just wipes out in one clash, and then on resolves, I lost 4 and a bit of my stands out of 5. And then that's really bad, right? Completely removed this unit. And then I thought, hey, but you know what? Lethal demise. It's a minimum unit. This is his his warlord. That's actually, it's not a great trade. It's not that bad, right? So it was about 18 lethal demises he had to take, and I think he failed 2. Not even enough to, not even enough to kill a stand. And I was like, this is bloody miserable. I hate this. And so my plan from there just kind of went downhill. And so my spider, I managed to claw it back a little bit, but so my spider ended up tanking Warbread and Scions and Quattle for 4 turns on this central zone. The Quattle was just kind of played in the sprinklers and killed off all my birds. And then I just had this massive cami block sat on one zone in the corner, and I was like, well, I can score this zone, but everything else just kind of died. So that game ended 79-47 to the general. And I was. I mean, in hindsight, it's I absolutely should have just sat back on the zone with my Origami Warriors and not engaged that unit. But I was trying to be cheeky, and I did I worked out what I thought would happen. That was a brutal slap back from Jamie in that case. But I guess I'll pass on to, I will say the biggest travesty of the whole weekend, right? So like I said, I was feeling really ill on the Saturday. I hadn't eaten anything. I'd spent the whole of Saturday dancing like a whipped goat, trying not to poo myself. But then, so I felt better. I went in on Sunday. I was super excited. I was staying at Premier Inn, so I'm like, I'm not getting breakfast there. Rubbish breakfast at Premier Inn. I'm going to get something at the venue. It's going to be great. I'm so excited for this breakfast sandwich I'm going to get. Got to the venue, nothing. No one doing breakfast. No one even selling coffee. And I was like, this is outrageous. I was like, this is the biggest disappointment of the whole weekend, was that the food wasn't well, it wasn't bad this year. Worse than the previous years. That's my feedback to LGT, is the food game needs to go back up to where it was last year. That's it. And so I was starving all day. I stopped and had Burger King on the way home.
I mean, just on food, my experience last year was very disappointing, and this year, apart from the queue size, the quality of the food I greatly enjoyed. And you are the first person I've ever heard to diss a Premierian breakfast. So I think you're wrong.
Look, this could be a whole podcast
I got to stand
in
with
itself.
Sam on that.
No. This could be a whole podcast in itself. Like, it is not good quality. It's like £11 now. Like, we need to go to that nice cafe in London that we found near the drug hotel.
I was staying around the corner from that cafe.
It's really good.
On a Saturday night. Yeah.
We should have gone there. It's really, really nice there.
Yeah.
That's where we should go next year. And it's like the same price, and it's so much nicer. I would die on this hill that I don't like Premier Inn breakfasts. That could be the title of. Right. So yeah, was it Josh after me? So Josh, you can tell us about your walking to victory.
Yeah, well, I was really excited because the end of day one, I knew there was 2 people I wanted to face. I knew both of them were 2-1 as well. I didn't know what my odds were, but I knew there was a good chance that I was going to get one of the Just Roll Ones people. And what do you know, me and James, we have to have our game every year, and it was that time. And
Yeah. Do you want to talk about it together?
Yeah, let's talk about it together. What was your initial thoughts?
Well, I want to point out when Yanis called out that we were standing next to each other, and when Yanis called out our pairings, I just had to shout out shit, and it just echoed throughout the place. I'll be honest. I think out of everyone there, your army was the one I did not want to face. And coming out of a loss at the end of a Saturday, that wasn't filling me with confidence.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's all Wadroon, but I had played Jamie on the Monday and had a pretty strong victory against him. Yeah, so there's a bit of context with this as well. So the deadline for lists were Monday the 22nd or something, and literally 20 minutes before midnight, I had a message from Josh saying, can I, really sorry about this, can I change my list to this one? And I replied going, yeah, no worries, that's fine, put it in, cool. And then literally about 10 minutes later, I had another email from Jamie going, can I change my list to this? I think it was Howard who said, yeah, they played each other and Jamie just got a humbling. And I was like, that makes sense.
Yeah, I was there for that game.
Well, yeah, look, anyone who faced 4 Quattle, there you go, you owe a little bit of that rage my way, because you only had 2 on Monday.
I hate you.
but in that game where he only had 2, he declared on turn 3, is that right?
I think we made it to turn 4. But yeah, it was turn 4 where he was like, I can see the writing on the wall. It was. So yeah, I felt like this was going to be my best year against James. I felt like, just in a turn, a faction versus faction, it was in the favour of Sorcerer Kings over Wadroon.
Yeah. I was it was a real thinking game, I think, between the two of us.
Yeah, like
those first few turns, we weren't really doing much. It was like a complete game of chess.
Yeah, we were both looking at the other one's threat range and then just sitting just outside of it. I think I moved some ghouls on. I moved some ghouls on turn 1, and then turn 2 and 3, I just moved them back towards the edge of the board.
Pretty much. My slingers were just going, come forward, you bastard.
That was the moment I was most proud of, though, was I used a triple activation to march sword dancers on at the end of a turn, and so your slingers had moved all the way forward to shoot at my guys, and then I triple activated these sword dancers on, so they came on 18 inches, and then they were sitting slap bang in front of your slingers, and I managed to get a charge off next turn. And as someone who's been on the other side of slingers before, that felt so satisfying.
Yeah. It was a good game. I think I got ahead on points early because the Quattle came on and were able to get on those objectives, the nearest ones. How many shots were your Flamecasters putting out again?
33 million.
Yeah, it felt like it.
I think you had my second best roll of the day against you. I think I managed to hit one of your units 22 times.
Yeah.
They've got rid of it now. That re-roll on your volley with Flamecasters is just incredible. I think, was it against Howl or was it against Ben? One of them I managed to hit 27, which was my record for the day.
No,
Is that from an MSU?
Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah, so it's an MSU. I've got it re-rolling the volleys, and then they're in flames, so 1s and 2s both.
How many points?
170.
Not enough.
Yeah. No. It was a good game. I think it got to, because I was definitely ahead, but then you were getting the rituals off again and again and again, and I think you were having like there was like almost 2 or 3 rituals a turn by like turn 5 or something.
Yeah, I think probably from turn 3, I was consistently completing 2 a turn, turn 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
And that healing and that triple activation, it does add up, doesn't it?
Yes, it did. Yeah, it was. It was definitely. I feel I played it the best way I could in terms of trying to get the points early and then trying to survive and deal with stuff before, because some of the Flamecasters didn't come on that early, so it was trying to take advantage of that. But I think we got up to about turn 6, didn't we? And it was starting, and now it was starting to go pretty quickly your way.
Yeah, so I think at the end of turn 6, I want to say you might have been about 10 points ahead.
Think about that. Yeah,
sounds about right. But
yeah,
I think we worked out the next turn or that turn you would have had quite a few things die, and then after that it would have been me scoring 2 or 3 and you scoring 1 for the rest of the game. Which James very kindly was prepared to talk out and gave me my favourite victory of any LGT so far.
Yanis called the time, and he even gave us like 5 minutes extra.
Yeah, he was very generous.
But I could just see like the sadness in it. It was like, no, this isn't ending that way. We're not ending it on a timeout. So we talked it through. Do you have the final result?
The final result.
Have you got the
45 to me, 32 to you.
That was it. Yeah, that was it.
Oh.
Yeah.
But it was a very close game. And there was a lot of... one of the other bits that sticks in my memory was you had your Raptor Riders and I had my Sword Dancers, and we were both sitting about 18 inches away from one another because we knew that was the limit of our threat range. And we were both playing
we were
checking to see who's going to attempt to charge the other one first.
Yeah. Even with like the fluid formation, we were like measuring it down to the millimeter. Like if I rotate them this way, how much does this take off a charge? Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, it was
Right, next time you see play, I'm giving you chess clocks.
Honestly. No, I will say like fair play to Josh. Like, it was a well earned, well deserved victory. So I will give him an applause on it. Yeah, he's done it.
Oh, thanks, James.
So does this mean that we now have the Conquest Ashes?
Yeah, you do. I think from this year. I was going to try and make one. I didn't get round to it over the summertime, but it is my aim to try and make like a little ashes, and we'll put some like Conquest cards in it, burn them, and put them in there. So I'm aiming to have that ready for like UKGE and pass it on to you.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
It might be that you've got to. It might be that you've got to melt down some of the Flamecasters and make.
I think the whole of the tournament would be collectively okay with that.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. So is it just whenever one of us beats someone else that we just pass it on? Is that how it works?
I think it should be like the average wins between us in an event.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. So each event we attend, so basically either UKGE or LGT. Yeah,
sounds good. Yeah.
Cool. So Josh, James, was that your last game of the tournament? Have you talked about that?
No, we had one more each. So after that, I went and faced Ben, who Sam faced. Lovely guy. Horrible list. 4 chariots. That just shouldn't be allowed. What was it? I remember. I think he got all of them on turn 3, and just everyone came on the side and then just shot at something valuable. Like he picked his target, and the other thing is they just would not die. I think he rolled a little bit lucky, but like one of the turns, like 2 of them stuck around with 1 wound. Like one of them took 20 shots from a flame caster, survived on 1 wound. The other one got charged, clashed, and shot by a Mahout, and like just sat there on 1 wound. It was they were so annoying. And he played it super cautious. So most of my games, other people got to the objectives first, and I pushed them off. This game, I got to the objective first, and then just got... what round did we finish on? Turn 5, just decimated. He won the supremacy, and it was just every card he had, it was... he activated, hit my regiment, and then that was the regiment I had ready to go. And it was just... I think I was about 15 points ahead, and then that turn he killed like 5 regiments, maybe more, maybe 6. It was like 5 regiments and 2 carrots or something, and swung it all the way from me being in the lead, Tim being in the lead, and then we ran out of time. But yeah, it was brutal. I couldn't kill anything. What was it? Even like he had an MSU of hoplites. I think they're 120, 130 points. Defense 4, and they were like just chilling at resolve 5. I remember I clashed some like sword dancers into them, and roll all these dice, have all these hits, and just watched every one of them bounce off. It was soul crushing. So made me very excited to play some city states. But yeah, unfortunately, I lost that one. I think I lost it by about 2 points in the end. It was like 25-27. So yeah, and that was a shame because my strength of schedule actually ended up being pretty strong in the end. So I think despite going 3-2, I came 7th. So yeah, I was well gutted that like last turn, if I'd like killed 1 more regiment or he'd killed 1 less, that would have been my shot at the top 3, I think. But alas, next year.
Yeah, great.
Sorry, my mute button wasn't working for a moment. But I would like to point out, talking about strength of schedule and where you end up in the list, I am officially listed as 30 out of 30, which is fair enough. I didn't participate in some of the games and so don't get a standing. I understand that. But...
the slow clap.
The record that has gone down on the official list that Parabellum shared was that I got a record of 2-2. Now, 2 plus 2 does not equal 5, but 5 is the number of games that were in the tournament, and I did not play 4 games. I played 3. So I feel like either I should automatically lose the other 2 games and go 2-3, or my record should be down as 2-1 to reflect what my actual record was. But instead, here I am with this fake result that looks like I just got to the end of game 4 and had enough, and so just walked off with the 2-2 record and ended up in last place. And I have no wooden spoon to show for it. So, sorry. That was worth coming off mute to moan about, wasn't it? Sorry, everyone. James, last game.
There was a beautiful moment at the end where the guy with 3 wooden spoons got down on one knee and presented the wooden spoon to the wooden spoon winner, and that was a beautiful moment at the end of the tournament.
Mr. Dragon will be the spoon deliverer, I think, from now on. That's his He could win the next
Thanks.
LGT, and he will still be the keeper of the spoons.
The watcher of the spoons.
Watcher of the spoons.
Nice. Yeah, and my final game was against Chris and his 100k, the all cavalry one. Yeah, Ash and Dawn can go do one. It was a fun game. Like, we both had pretty quick armies, and we both we could both get like relatively long charges off. So there was quite a bit of like holding back a little bit on it. I don't know if we've actually said, but the fifth scenario was melee. I can't remember if we've actually mentioned that or not. But yeah, again, started off strategy pretty quick, easily, quite all on the objectives. Turn 2, get up on the scoreboard a bit more quick. And then his knights started coming on in force, and it was making me worried. I did try some long charges. That was a bit risky, but it paid off with some lucky rolls. So I managed to kind of charge into some of his household knights from quite far away, and placing a quattle in the forest to try and lure him in a little bit. And I was taking up like the left flank, but then on the right flank, his knights and the Crimson Tower and the Ashen Dawn came down, and they just started wrecking face. There wasn't much I could do on that, and I knew with the Ashen Dawn from past experience, like, I could kill the rest of the army, but the Ashen Dawn are just going to go through Wardrun pretty easily. They charged an Apex, took a couple of wounds off it because they kind of moved and charged. The Apex hit back, did nothing because of Blessed. And it was a case of, okay, I know what I'm doing now. So I kind of like tried to hold up the right flank as much as I could. Kept on getting as many points as I could, and then, like any great tactician in history, when I was ahead, I just retreated the hell back and waited for either the clock to run down or for the turns to run out. So it got to the end of turn 10. I still had a couple of things left, and we kind of like realized he couldn't catch up. He tried to charge I think the Apex, hoping to try and kill it and maybe get some points. I think it was up to a draw or take him over, but he didn't manage it. I managed to kill that unit, and I think it was something like 60-51 or something. So it's for melee, that it's a very close game. Like normally melee, you can be plus or minus 20 points, and that's still a relatively close game. To be like within under like 10 difference, that was a really nail biting one. So yeah, really nice guy. First time I played him. Actually, apart from Josh, it was the first time it was a kind of weekend of firsts for all my rounds. So really, really nice to play kind of different people in it as well. So yeah, it was a fun game. So I went 3-2 in the end, and came, I think it was 11th. Yeah. So it was a bit, but yeah, really fun bunch of games.
Yeah, well done. Brilliant. Well, there you go. Interesting. Did you manage to get any shots off with your slingers into the Ashen Dawn?
No, I didn't. I kind of like, because I was trying to like push everything up one side. I kind of got my slingers into a weird position where they couldn't really shoot that much. Oh, that was it. He had a unit of mounted. He had a couple of units of mounted squires. I completely forgot that they had Tenacious 2 against shooting.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay, I can probably deal with this and stuff. And slingers don't necessarily care that much against Tenacious because they're such reliable shooting. Like even against Tenacious 2, it's like, okay, you're knocking off 2 shots, but here's still 10 or 11 that you still got to get through. But there was, and they knocked off like 2 stands in one go, but the final stand just would not die. And I'm not, like, I chucked slingers into it, I chucked raptors throwing stuff into it, even the quatter was shooting into it, and this one stand would not bloody die, and it was becoming really annoying. So the slingers were like almost dedicated to trying to shoot that little bugger. So yeah, there didn't seem much point even trying to put some shots into the Ashen Dawn.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Interesting. There you go. Right, we're at probably 1 hour 30, so I think it's probably a good time to call it for this episode. But Aaron, James, it's been lovely to actually do this finally with you guys and chat about LGT. And yeah, any final thoughts before we sign off?
Only to say again, it ran really well. Big well done, and thank you to everyone who attended from me and Yanis as the organisers. Congrats to Brandon for winning it. And yeah, it was a great event again. Anyone who's interested in it, definitely turn up next year.
Mm-hmm. I'd really like the four of you to stop dodging me and for us to actually play some games together. This is becoming a bit of a trend at events, and I'd really like to play some of you again.
Yeah, I think.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, I definitely remember playing you, and you played Sorcerer Kings, and it was miserable. So I'd actually like to have that on the record. Thank you.
The worst thing about that, Joe, is that was before they were really ridiculous. And I'd
so
like
you're just saying it's embarrassing that I lost? Is that what it is?
No, we had a really close game. But I'd like to go on record and say that, as Josh has just mentioned, I've played Sorcerer Kings from before they were really, really good. So when I play them, it's okay. I'm not a filthy meta chaser. I just don't Sorcerer Kings. Yeah. I have just built them.
Fair.
My only defence is I'm just a sucker for anyone who sells me an army that's painted.
We're back to the problem.
Although the Gauls weren't painted, I picked up most of the army nearly painted from someone else, and I was like, great.
Brilliant. Right, and on that wonderful note, we'll end it there. We have a book that is recommended in writing by one of the people on this podcast. So if you want a book that is endorsed by Aaron, who says it is the greatest book that was ever written,
it's really good. It's really good.
It's really good. That's exactly what he says. Then please check out the Wargamers Handbook. No,
it's
I will get this right.
Wargamers Guide to the Galaxy, right?
Yeah, the Wargamers Guide to the Galaxy. Yeah. Sam just put me out of my misery.
You have said it wrong so many times, I've genuinely forgotten them.
Brilliant. Well, the link will be in the description, so please feel free to go and click on that. It's available at Amazon. And yeah, if you've got any listener questions, please send them into joshingaroundinair@gmail.com, and we will promptly answer them in another podcast. But for now, thank you for listening, and goodbye.
See you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.